Hey guys, welcome to tonight's live stream. Right now, fixing my hair a little bit. So let's go ahead and get things going. A lot of you have been asking questions, and there we go. Many of you have been asking questions about what should I order when it comes to the live purchase date of tomorrow. So Kickstarter goes live tomorrow for the actual Eufy UV printer. And I've been seeing a lot of comments in various forums around, hey, what should I be ordering and what should I consider? So really today's video is about trying to help you really understand what your options are. Hey, Victor, can you guys hear me? Victor, how's my audio? Just let me know so that we can make sure that we're good. Can you hear me? Let's see. Gonna test the audio, make sure. Yeah, all right, excellent. Thank you. So the question I get a lot, I've been getting a lot in the forums, is that what is it that you should be purchasing when you are looking at the Eufy printer tomorrow? And actually, we're going to talk about the time because it's actually in the list. It's around 12 a.m. PT, I believe it was, that it goes live. And you have a lot of options to choose from. And I wanted to just share with you guys still some of the projects that we've been going through and some of the things that I've learned with using it. As I share with you some of the things that I'm seeing, the one thing I want to make sure that you realize is that I am sharing with you my experience as someone who is using a unit that is going to get firmware updates and someone who doesn't have final software. I think that the hardware is final hardware, but there's still improvements going on. So this is my experience pre-production. So just keep that in mind as you guys think about that. So let's take a look at what's going to be available tomorrow. And I've included, by the way, a couple links. First, I included the link that you'll be able to use tomorrow. That link will not work today. That link will take you to the Kickstarter page, but it's going to be a temporary page. It's not going to be even that page. So use it tomorrow when it goes live, and then you'll be able to place your order. So the first question that I get about orders before we start looking at some of the options is, can I order more than one printer? And the answer is yes, you can. You'll be able to have additional printers when you go through the order process. So that's not going to be a problem. So you can order more than one. The second question I get is, what bundle should I choose? So what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and take a look at their page so that we can look at what is it that you can choose. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up my Chrome browser so that we can see some of the options here and we can talk through them. Feel free to ask questions as we go through this because we're going to have these up. So I'll switch back and forth to make sure I see you, the questions that you may have. So the first thing is, if you have put in, again, that $50 deposit, right? And you can still lock it in. You'll notice there's 18 hours to do this. You don't want to do it once it goes live. You will be able to get the printer, right? It will include the large bed, the small bed. It will include the 4 ink cartridges, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's 5 because it includes the gloss. And then it's going to include the actual cleaning cartridge. Now, the cleaning cartridge is the cartridge that basically handles the moistening process of the head itself, the print head. And then also, if you don't use a printer for more than 3 days, it flushes the printer and the actual tubing with this material or this liquid so that you don't get clogs. And it's been working really well for me. I think I had mentioned in my last video that I had left mine unused for a week on purpose to see if it would recover. And literally like clockwork, it was plugged in. It went into that long-term storage mode. It basically was just on, but it was in that mode where it was not depositing any test ink. All it was doing was waiting for me to come back and say, inject ink back into the system so I can use it. And the injection process is very similar to when you set up the printer for the very first time. When you put in your ink inside, you basically hit inject, and then all of the lines get injected with ink. Now, one of the things I've been also seeing out there a lot was about, well, the cartridges are sealed and you can't fill them up with ink. And I think that there's some pros and cons to that. And as I've been doing my research, and keep in mind that I am new to UV printing, I'm really excited about UV printing. And I've been actually following many of the large manufacturers of UV printers to see comments and feedback and things that are going on in the space. Now, I'm not saying that this is the ultimate solution, because this is not in any way a high production, high volume solution, but it's a great solution for someone who wants to get their feet wet in UV printing and wants to catapult your business to another level. And I can tell you, in our case, the UV printer, the Eufy printer, has been doing that. The E1 has been doing that for Nilda's business. She is actually seeing expanded opportunities, and her orders are including both UV printed goods as well as laser engraved goods. So this isn't going to be a solution. It could be, but in our case, it's not a solution that is focused solely on UV printing. We're basically getting, for example, golf ball orders, and we're also then getting tumbler orders. So we're going to have, engraved tumblers, and then we're going to have UV printed golf balls. So you see that combination is taking place. So it's really doing a lot for us. But again, in no way would I say that this is a commercial platform. And when the ink is sealed, one of the things that I've seen as a problem for some of the printers that have this open ink model is that you can get air in the system. And I've seen several posts over the weeks where people are troubleshooting to get the air out of the system because of the how it impacts the ink printing. Now, again, that I would say is a pro. One of the cons is that you just can't simply refill the cartridge, right? So I would say that that's a con. We still don't know clearly how long the cartridges are going to last. I've been printing quite a bit, and my cartridges have not yet expired. And unfortunately, because again, I'm in that early group, the software doesn't tell me how much ink I have left. All I can tell you is that it's still printing and I haven't run out. So as we take a look at the bundles, the very first bundle that you see here is $14.99. If you want to be able to get 2 of these $14.99 ones, you can do that. It will be there in the workflow. But again, that's going to include just a basic kit. Now, the next one is that you have is the Rotary kit, right? And then you have a laminator bundle. And I wanted to share with you why, for me, both are essential. And if you are on the fence, like I know a lot of folks are really focused on maybe the Rotary because they think there's a lot of potential there. And I'm going to show you, let me pull this out. I want to show you my Rotary example that I did yesterday. So this I posted in the group. By the way, I created a new group, which is Eufy. It's a Eufy or Eufymake E1 UV printer owners group. It's on Facebook, right? And so check out that page because I'm providing my experience, and then there's a lot of other makers there that are sharing their experience as well in that group. So this is something that I've printed, and you'll notice it's a wrap, right? So it's a beautiful wrap in color. And to give you a sense, this wrap that I did for Mother's Day, the cost of ink is 34 cents. 34 cents. And as you look at this, and every single person that sees this, they go like, oh my God, that's absolutely beautiful. You can imagine what you can charge if you were to basically put this up for sale, right? So this is easily going to go over $30 with a 34 cents investment in ink, and then also the cost of the actual, tumbler itself. So when I think about the Rotary, is the Rotary something that is the Rotary going to be something that you want to be able to, do you want to be able to invest in? I'd say if you want to include tumblers like that, then I would say yes. Now, Mark has a question, and he was asking, hey, do we know what the cost of the ink is? And yeah, so there's been early published information about the ink. They've been floating all over the place that the individual ink is going to be around $42, $42, $43 is what's being put out there. And that the actual bundles themselves is going to be around $300. Now, we're going to learn more on the live date, because even with those numbers, that was the last published information that we received that you have seen on a lot of the different Facebook pages. You'll see where people have been putting the graphics there. So there's still more to learn tomorrow. And that's going to be for 100 milliliter worth of ink. So when you look at each one of these ink, I would say colors, it's 100 milliliters each, including the white, and the gloss is 100 milliliters. And then the actual cleaning fluid, I don't know how much is in there. And this is also the container that's going to contain all your waste. So as your printer is maintaining itself and it's self-service, it's going to deposit the waste into this container. The tumbler took 18 minutes. So we got another question, and that was, how long did that wrap tumbler take? It was 18 minutes to take. Now, how many of you out there are laser engravers? How many of you do laser engravers? Just let me know that, because I'd like to see that. And the reason why I'm asking that question is because As a laser engraver, someone who regularly is engraving Stanleys or other brands like JDS, and we go from 20 all the way up to 40 with and without handles, stemless wine glasses as well. It on average on a fast machine, even at a CO2, if I'm talking about a CO2 machine, I could basically get something done, let's say a wrap in 18 minutes. Now, if you're doing something like on the X-Tool F1 Ultra, it could take a half an hour to 45 minutes to do a wrap. If you could do a wrap faster than that, let me know. But I've gotten wraps, that take on some higher end machines in 18 minutes. This one, sorry if my audio went away. This one took 18 minutes to complete. So this was my wrap. 18 minutes, and you can see that full color, right? So I had a request here about, hey, show that one more time. So here is the spaghetti seashells. So you can see that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it took 18 minutes. And this is kind of like the speed of a laser, right? A high-end laser when you're doing a full wrap, but you're getting beautiful color. One of the things I didn't do well, guys, and I'm learning the system as you will when you get it, is that I probably should have cleaned off this edge right here so the actual UV print went onto the stainless. So the next time I do this, I'd probably just bring the graphic a little bit further down here, right, so that it starts on the white. Oh, and by the way, this has no white background, so it doesn't do the white layer. I just did color. And again, this is Mother's Day, and I love the sunflowers, how again yellow they are. I got more stuff I'm going to show you. Anyways, so Rotary is something that I would actually recommend. Now, the other thing that I would put out there, let's get that one out. As far as the question on the white base, no, I did, because that tumbler was white, I just did direct color. So everything was just the color. And I love the way that looked. And I actually prefer to do it that way. Can you tape on painter's tape? So there's a question here from Mark. Could you paint? Yes, Mark. That's probably something I should have done in hindsight as well, is I would have done a tape. Definitely, I would have done that tape. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, as we're going through and looking at options about the Rotary, I think that the Rotary is a great option. The Rotary auto levels, it auto sizes the diameter for you. No more tape is needed. And it works really well on a variety of tumblers, except those tumblers that have the real small mouth. Now, I don't really deal with those a lot. It also does well. I'm trying to see if I have one here. So like if you think about this one right here, this is a brand new Stanley. It is going to have a problem with this drop right here. Let me see if I can get a little closer to the camera so you guys can see it. So when you look at this area right here, where it kind of, the tumbler starts right here and then it drops, this is the area that it has a problem with. It can engrave this area without a problem, but it has a problem with the other stuff because of how much the drop is. I have another thing right here. Let me grab that. Sorry. Here's another one that I would highlight. So take this out. If you're going to do these, the machine can do these all day long, right? And you can see this would be a great base, and we'll do full wrap on this. And again, not a problem with these at all, with the white ones. And what I've seen is most Etsy stores that are doing UV printing typically go with a white kind of tumbler versus something that's a different color, and then they add color on top of it. Okay. Does the camera work with the Rotary for positioning is the question from Quantum Leap event. The answer is no. It does create a video representation, like a 3D scan of your actual tumbler. So when it does the actual diameter calculation and the actual leveling, it will create kind of like a 3D scan of your object, and then it will show how your image fits on the actual tumbler, which is really cool, right? So it's something that it actually does. So going back to the bundles, one thing I wanted to highlight here, guys, on the bundles. So I would suggest, yes, go with the Rotary if you want to do any kind of drinkware. I would not get the DTF laminator to do Rotary things. And I want to make sure that you guys listen to this, right? Because what I'm saying is, if you say, hey, you know what, I could get the DTF laminator bundle and then forgo the Rotary because I could just stick a sticker on it and think that you're good, I would not do that. Let me explain why. And by the way, I'm also recommending the actual laminator bundle. And you guys can support our channel by using the link for that. But the reason why I recommend it is for this reason. And I'm going to show you kind of some labels that I've created. So these labels that are right here that you're going to see, these are created on the Eufy E1. And these are labels that Nilda uses for her candles, right? So we have JDS candles that we've purchased. And part of her realtor bundle that she provides realtors for closing gifts is candles. Now, what she does is, we stock some candles on-prem, and then we order as we need more in volume. But she doesn't only work with realtors, right? She does work with corporate businesses. She works with different companies. It's not just the real estate market. So having a candle that says home sweet home doesn't really apply in every use case when she's using the candle. I have two choices, right? We have two choices when it comes to candles. We could either print directly on the candle, or we can have labels for the candles. We've chosen to go with the labels because the labels give us the ability to have limited stock, and then we print the labels that get associated with the industry that she's working with. So if she's not working with the real estate company, then she has other labels that she uses for that industry. If she's going to work with the real estate industry, she'll grab the real estate labels that she's created. Does that make sense, guys, what I'm mentioning? The use of labels or stickers. The stickers give you the ability to have limited stock or inventory, and then stick the stickers to the industry that you're serving, especially if you have some niches that you work with like we do. So everything I'm sharing with you guys here is not like the cool stuff of 3D raised prints, because frankly, as a business, we don't see us selling a lot of that. Like we deal with B2B, and then our B2C are not looking for, embossed images, unfortunately, right? We also don't do the, when you think about the Challenger coins, we'll get Challenger coins requests, but they're not embossed. They just want regular coins. So, that's just one thing that I just wanted to highlight. The stickers are really popular. T. Kruger was asking, so it calculates the circumferences. You don't have to input the diameter of the rotary. Absolutely, you do nothing. It calculates it for you. And that, I wish that every manufacturer did that, right? I wish, even if you think about the stuff that many of the manufacturers out there, when you put in your rotary in there, I wish it could read and rotate and tell you how that circumference and diameter. It does it automatically, and then it levels automatically too. So you have to do no leveling. You don't have to do any calculation. So it's pretty spectacular. So going back to the laminator, I recommend the laminator not because I'm doing stickers. Like, I'm not making stickers to sell. I'm making stickers to manage my inventory and also have personalization for different industries that we serve for the same product, right? So for example, Nola and I are going to be at a pet adoption event coming up really soon. We're going to have candles. If I were to print directly on the candles, which I can, all of those would be dog candles. And I can't use those candles for anything else but dogs. But if I have stickers, now I have pet stickers that when I have a candle, I can put it on it. And that candle, I can use it for more than one industry and reduce my stock. Right. So that's the reason why I would say that the laminator is key for my business model. So think about your business model. All right. Something else. Here's something that we've started doing. We don't know if this is going to be a business model for us. This is going to work with either bundle. And this is this. So what I have here is let's get right here so you guys can see it. So this right here is a light switch. I actually printed on this light switch. It's kind of like a Jedi. It's an AI generated guy right here. Now, the tip I wanted to give you, if you want to be able to do light switches, which seems to be a thing, the only ones that I've been able to get to work are the nylon ones. So when you go to a Home Depot, a Lowe's, a Menards, whichever brand you go to in your local area, and you want to print light switches, I've been printing on nylon, not a problem. If I go with the plastic ones, it doesn't stick for whatever reason. And they have this, that they say that there's certain materials that, that UV has a problem with. And what I found is the plastic ones, I don't know what it's made with, but typically what they say is that if your print material has like this Teflon finish where it doesn't hold on to fingerprints or dirt, then it's not going to hold on to UV. And I've seen some light switches where, as you flip the switch on and off, they have something on there so that it doesn't get nasty looking. And guess what? That nasty looking protection that it has also prevents UV printing. So nylon is your friend. if you're looking to do light switches like this. So if you're going to do light switches like this, then nylon is your friend. All right. Let's see what other questions we have over there. Is it just a normal hot laminator? So let me bring this up. So Stubborn Bull Customs is asking, is just a normal hot laminator? It looks like it is, right? I haven't experienced other laminators. This is my first laminator. It is a hot laminator. It basically has, you have your sheet. I'll show you what this looks like. I don't know how much of this is going to come on camera, but basically, I have my lamination sheet right here, and then I have my sticker here. It goes through the heat process, and then what I could do now is I can cut these stickers to, just as squares. And when I remove the actual lamination page, the actual sticker itself comes with it. And then when I place it on the item and I rub it, I can remove the lamination sheet and the sticker stays there. So you don't have to cut this to the shape, a circle. You don't have to cut this to the flower, because the flower, this shape that you see right here, that's the sticker. But it may be, a generic lamination page. I just don't know. I just can't answer that because I don't have any other things to test it with. So hopefully that answers that. Have another one. Figured I went with, okay, Rotary, since I already have a hat laminator. Okay. That's definitely, if you have that, you can always get the lamination sheets, right? You can get the lamination sheets and then do it that way. And again, I'm just sharing that, my use of lamination is not because I want to sell stickers, but it's because I'm managing a business process. Let me show you something else. So this is another piece. So this is an actual battery that a realtor brought to us, and they wanted us to personalize it. So I'm going to just cover the brand a little bit, but I just want to show you this right here. So this right here is something that is a new opportunity that we have now because we have this UV printer, right? So the actual realtor had batteries that they gave their clients as gifts, but there was no brand. And what now they want us to do is to brand all their batteries for them. So that creates an opportunity for you when it comes to what this printer can do, right? So let's see what else. So the question is, curious whether the printed image on glass scratches off. It is very durable, right? This is a resin-based print. I'm going to show you guys something. I have done glass and I've done acrylic, and I would say you can scratch it off, but you're going to scratch it off. It's like working with the chisel. It is like hard, because again, this is a hard resin. So this right here, guys, is a wallet that I created. You've seen on the social media posts that I put this. So this is my Iron Man wallet, right? And this wallet, I've had it now in my pants pocket for 3 weeks. And what I carry with me in my pocket for 3 weeks is I carry keys, right? So I have car keys, right? So the car keys, are doing this thing on the wallet. I also carry in my wallet, a second pair of keys, because I got my wife's car keys and then I have my car keys. So I have 2 sets of car keys in my pocket. I know they both have 2 different remotes. I could put them on one, but I wanted to put this into extreme. And I also have some change that I've been carrying. And as you can see here, we'll see if we can get some of the light here. This wallet does not have a scratch, right? Right. So not a scratch at all. So it works really well. So there was a question here from T. Kruger. Can you spray paint primer on the plastic light and for the UV? I don't know. I have to try that out. One thing I did do is I ran 1 pass with white, and then I ran 1 pass of the gloss to see if it could seal it. And then I tried to do the paint, the UV print on it. It didn't work. I'm going to try the spray paint. If it works, I probably will still stick with the nylon, because I don't want to go through the process of painting anything. Like for us, our business model is fast. Anything that requires a lot of prep, we don't do. Anything that requires a lot of finish, we don't do. For us, it's about in and out, fast money. We don't want anything that takes a lot of time. Let me show you something else that you can do, and then we'll talk more about the bundles. Slates. So here is a slate coaster. So we'll bring this in so you can see it. This was our Easter coaster that we made. It does really, really well with this. So this is stepping up our experience when it comes to, what we offer. We actually we do a lot of slates. We do laser engraved slates, a lot of them. And now this, the color option, is going to change the way we do slates. We can add more. We do a lot of memorial slates. We do, again, housewarming slates. But this is going to be a game changer for us when it comes to slates. So that's something else that I really like a lot. The other thing, sorry, I'm grabbing all this stuff from the floor. The other thing that we're going to be introducing in our business model, and why I think the Eufy is such a great option, is this. I'm going to bring this up. So this right here, let's see if the camera picks it up, is, and you'll find that in our Facebook group. I think I posted this one. This is a Lotus. One of my friends has a Lotus. Yeah, he's a special guy. And what I did is I printed this Lotus. There, see if it comes up right there. It is on wood. The quality, guys, is pretty spectacular on this. It's kind of hard to see, you know, given the green screen effect that we get, but this is really good. When I sent this to him and said, this is your gift, he couldn't believe that this was done on wood, right? So you have a really good wood effect here when it comes to UV printing. All right, so let's see what else is out there. So let's go back to the orders, right? So I showed you some projects and some orders. So if I, and by the way, we're getting another one ourselves. So we're part of the bundle we're going to be purchasing it. What we're going to be going for is we're going to be going for another deluxe bundle, right? So we're going to get the UV printer, the ink and cleaning cartridge, the UV DTF lamination machine, the rotary, and then the full material kit as well, just because we want to do more experimentation and more testing, and we think that the bundle is a good deal. So we're going to be going with the 2352 bundle. And again, you guys have the link in the comments that you can use, you know, as soon as it opens up, and it's only 18 hours away. And what I will say is that my experience with the printer is that I do a lot of reviews, and sometimes I get printers or products that are in brown boxes that lack documentation. I've had stuff that even has tape holding it together. And this feels like a finished product, right? The only thing that I've seen the team doing is updating firmware and updating the software. And that has been a really positive experience. And I've been giving them feedback, and they've been responding to it. We did get a question in our group that I wanted to share with you guys. And this came from Marie Keene. And she basically said, she was asking, how big is it? Because I want to make sure that I have enough space to put the printer. And first of all, from a weight perspective, you're looking at around 44 pounds, right? The weight of the product is 44 pounds, which I think is still very portable, right? So 44 pounds that you'll be able to move that around. So if you have one of those wagons, you can do that, or you can carry it. If you're worried about, you know, how big the product is in itself, the product is relatively small, right? The printer dimensions are 23 inches by 9 inches by 16. That is very small and very thin. We've just literally, my wife and I went to Home Depot, and we picked up, there was a, you know, one of those Husky cabinets on sale for $160 that we saw. It was a great deal from 300 and something. We bought one of those, and that's where we're going to put this one on. And the only thing that you have to watch out for is you need more space in the back, and you need space in the front. Because when you open up the doors and you have that tray moving forward and backwards, you need space so that the tray can move forward and backwards. So that's, for us, simply is just making sure that it's away from the wall. So that's something on the dimensions that I want to share with you. Those of you who are still not comfortable with the size of the bed, we're talking about 15.75 print area by 11.81. That is big. There are printers that are out there that are $10,000, $30,000 that are small, super small. I'm looking at a printer right now from a company that is $10,000, and that printer, the printer size dimensions for printing is 8.2 by 5.8. I'm looking at another one that is $26,000, and it's 19.7 by 13. 19.7 by 13, right? For almost a $30,000 printer. This one, at the price that you're seeing it right here, 15.75 by 11.81. I think that when you think about that print area, that's pretty good. So the let's see what else we have. We have a question that says, how much is the ink? So Brian is asking the ink. Brian, we believe that the ink is going to be around $300 for the set, and it's anywhere between $43 and $44 per cartridge is what I've seen on Facebook. You're going to see more information when things go live, and you'll be able to buy multiples when that does. Let me give you some advice also, guys, when it comes to the purchase of ink. On the ink side, I would actually recommend that you consider getting also extra cleaning cartridges. The cleaning cartridge, I've actually, and I don't know if mine is because mine is right now being used as a, it's a beta version still, like the software and the firmware. But what I've noticed is that I still have the same ink cartridges, the 100 milliliters, and I've been printing without a problem. But my cleaning cartridge got full already. So I had to swipe out a cleaning cartridge. So I'm not sure yet what is the lifespan of a cleaning cartridge, because the cleaning cartridge has two elements in it. It basically has the cleaning fluid, right? That basically goes in and moisturizes the system and keeps things clean and clog free. And then it also has a repository that picks up the dirty ink as it's keeping itself primed. So I don't know, mine, in my case, it extinguished itself pretty quickly. I have a message into Eufy, and they're going to let me know if it's normal or if it's still something that has to do with the fact that I have an early release. But that's just something that I would make sure that you guys are aware of. As far as, let's see what other questions we have out there. Let me take a look. So we have, let's see what Beth is asking. So Beth is asking, do you know what comes in the material kit? If it is close to what I had, Beth, what came in with mine, and I think it's going to be very similar. You're going to get some sticker sheets. You'll get the wood board, the metal board. You do get at least some drinkware that you can play with. You get some magnets, so you'll get some of these magnets. Which, by the way, I started ordering magnets already. We have a pet adoption event coming up where we're going to take the printer with us, and we're going to make magnets for folks on site. And so we got the sublimation magnets that are round, the sublimation magnets that are square, and sublimation magnets that are rectangles. And they're all magnet types, and they work really well. And these magnets come out really nice when you print them. So we'll learn more tomorrow. And Marie was saying that the deluxe bundle looks like they're charging for that material kit. Yeah, it looks like they are, Marie. And so it's not a free kit, but at least that's how it is today. Let's see what happens tomorrow. And directed T3CH, totally agree. I can't imagine the full material kit is worth $200 to $300. Yeah, so if they're giving you a material kit and it's $300 more, it has to be a lot. Yeah, I would say that. I just can't imagine it being that expensive. So there has to be something more there. The question is, any idea on running two machines at the same time? Is it doable? I don't know, Mark, on the software, because the software, they don't have it like Xtool does, where you can actually see the multiple machines. By the way, I only have one machine, so I don't know. But what I would say is, one of the things you can do is you can have multiple canvases open. So while the printer is printing, I can actually go to another canvas and work on a different project. Now, one of the things I do see in an interface, and I'm going to bring up the interface so I can just double check it, is that I have the ability, I actually see the printer. And not only can I see the printer, but there's a pull down for the printer. Let me bring my screen up so that you guys can see that. Let me go ahead and do, I'm going to present something else. Let me stop my screen share. I'm going to bring in this screen share. Give me a second. And screen share, and I'm going to choose the Eufymake software. So Mark, check out this right here for a second. Is that showing up? Yeah, it is. Notice here's my printer, my Eufymake UV printer E1. And notice how there's a pull down here, right? I think you can. I don't have two, but notice when I click on this pull down, I have my Eufymake UV printer. I can name it something too. I chose not to name it anything else because I only have one, but I can see you naming, it whatever you want to call it, and then clicking on this pull down and being able to switch from printer to printer. You can have multiple desktops. So you have one desktop, a second desktop, and a third desktop. And you can have, again, so in this desktop, I can choose to have the flatbed. On this desktop, I can say I want the full, I can have the rotary. So you notice how I now have one here that has this is also a rotary view, it looks like. This one isn't a rotary view. Let's make it the mini flatbed. So you can notice it right there. And then this one, I can make it the standard flatbed. So you'll notice that I have 3 canvases with 3 different print sizes or print activities. And then I have the ability to click on this pull down, and you'll notice that one printer shows up. Fingers crossed. If it's not there, it may be coming. That's what I'll say. If it's not there, it's probably going to be coming very soon. Does that answer your question, Mark? Hope it does. All right, so let's keep on going with the questions. So we have, if we do the $50 deposit tomorrow, will the $1770 be the final price? If you're, I think that's what tax that you're looking at. I'm guessing. I don't know. Nothing has been told to us outside of what everybody else is getting. So you are seeing the same thing that I'm seeing when it comes to pricing. We'll see more tomorrow. And let's see what other questions are out here. And okay, so there was two parts of that. Well, the $1770 be the final price, and the question was for the Rotary bundle. That's what they have listed, but we'll have to see tomorrow. Thanks, Brian, for asking the question. And then let's see who else we have. Let's do this show. Do you know if we will be able to actually pay for our order tomorrow? I want to get it out of the way. Yeah, I think that there is where you can pay it in full, and then I think there's going to be some finance options as well, depending on what part of the world you're in. But you'll be able to pay it off. And here's a question from Stubborn Bull Customs. Here you'll probably use 2 to 3 times more of the white. I'd say so. White is used a lot, right? But in the software, you can choose not to use it if you want to. So anytime I have a white surface like this, right, I don't choose to use white. If, for example, I'm printing on, and most of the material that I'm using that I'm printing color on is going to be a white background, unless I'm doing a slate or something else. Even if I'm doing a tumbler, I think the way to go is to choose something white because it's easier, although you can do black. One of the things I wanted to go back to, because I don't want to forget to mention this to you. We talked about stickers, right? And why it's important to use stickers when it comes to, when it comes to just branding other material. I did do a test. There was a question in our Facebook group, the Eufymake owners group. And the question was, can you wash a DTF item that has stick on it, like the DTF sticker? If you put it on something, can you put it in the dishwasher? I did run a test. I actually put a DTF sticker on a shot glass and put it through the wash, and it didn't last one wash. So it basically came off and it wrinkled up the first wash. And that was after 24 hours of me leaving. Actually, not 12. It was 12 hours of me leaving it to cure, kind of say. Like after I put the sticker, I didn't put it immediately. I left it for 12 hours, and then I put it in the actual dishwasher. Now, what did survive, because I did it in the same test, and I don't know where I did with it, where I put it, was my tumbler. So I did put my tumbler in there, and I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Sorry. So here's a tumbler. This guy I washed, and it did the hot cycle and everything, no issues. So there was no problem with this, but I only put it through one cycle. I have to put it through another cycle and see how it survives. So one cycle only. I'm not claiming victory until I put it into several other cycles. All right, let's see other questions out there. And let's keep on going down. Okay, so here's a good question from Beth. Our question is, does it require a certain temperature to run properly? We have been running this in our house. I'm in Chicago, so things get cold. We try to keep, if we have stuff in our garage or we have stuff in the basement, we try to keep things regulated. I'm guessing that there is probably a temperature, just like there is a temperature for standard resin. I wouldn't know. I'm new to this like everybody else, but I'm expecting that there would be one. I'm trying to see if there's anything here in the guides that I'm looking at that talk about operating temperature, and I don't see anything at this time that I can share with operating temperature. Let's go ahead and look at this next one from T. Kruger. Software is internet only. I understand you cannot use it as a standalone. Okay, so it is not internet only. I have tested it without having. You have to log in, right? So let me clarify that. I have had to log in, but it doesn't work like, from what I've seen. Okay, let me just say that from what I've experienced, it doesn't work like Bamboo printers where the jobs have to go to the internet to come down. I have to be logged into the software for it to work. So I needed an internet connection for that, but I didn't see anything going to the cloud and then coming down. It basically went directly to the printer. And I don't use a lot of the AI features inside of the software. There's a lot of AI features. There's some cool stuff that I use regularly, and that is background removal that I'll do, but I don't do anything else. I do all my AI stuff with software that I use externally. I either build my own, my own graphics, or I get stuff from Creative Fabrica. So those are my two options. So we'll have to learn more about the dependencies on the internet, because our software is not final. And then Mark, you're saying that you think it can, given that pull down? Yeah, I think so. It looks like it might. Mark is definitely going to be getting 2. So we'll have him let us know what that experience is like. All right. So thanks, Mark. Let's see who else we have out there. All right. So good question. So Quantum Leap asked, how long does the print head last? And I have that question in. I don't have an answer yet. And also there was a question, is the print head replaceable? And I'm told that it is, and they will have information on launch as well. Fingers crossed that they even have on, what the cost of a replacement print head is. Now, the print heads on the unit do have a warranty, right? I don't recall what the warranty was, but it has a warranty, and they said that the print heads are, they should be replaceable. And let's go ahead and look at Nilda. Hey, Nilda. So Nilda couldn't join us today, but my mama's right there, so she is following. So thank you for joining today. And then let's see what this question is. It says Stubborn Bull Customs. If it's not web-based, can you open and close an app on computer? Yes, I can open and close the app on the computer. But what I have noticed, and I have not tested, is, so I've logged in. So, typically software requires you to have some type of credentials. I would assume that those credentials go somewhere to the internet, right? And then it comes back and it says you're a valid user. And what I have not tested is, if I don't have an internet connection, can I continue to use the printer? I haven't tested that yet. But I know that I don't send anything to the internet. So that'll be something that I'll test. I'm thinking, like, if you think about Bamboo Lab, where they have their printers, they have a network mode, and then they have an online mode. I don't know if that exists here. I just haven't experienced it yet, but it'll be something definitely that I'll test out. And then Nilla's saying, sorry, no worries. She had a very, very busy day. She was traveling a lot, and, boss lady doing boss lady things. Don't worry, babe. All right. So what are the questions? We've had good participation, 42 minutes in. We've talked about why I would choose to go with the laminator, why I would choose to go with the Rotary. We've talked about the bundles again, and we've talked about some of the quality that I've seen, which is spectacular. Does the printing of golf balls scratch out? You know what? I saw a reviewer say that it did, and I have not experienced that. So, and I don't know if it's the type of golf ball that we chose or the finish. So we did 2 types of golf balls. We did Callaway, and guys, for those of you who are golfers, I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm not a golfer, right? So literally, we were getting golf ball requests prior to this printer when we had lasers. When people knew we do personalization, they were asking. And I actually have a UV laser that I'm able to UV, I don't want to call it print, but mark balls. And we were able to do that with the UV laser. So we had the demand already. And what we were using was either the Callaway, or I think it's a Vice, were the 2 brands that we use. The Callaway are the most expensive. They're like $19 a dozen. And so are the Vice. So those 2, that's the brand that I've printed on. And I will tell you that that brand is durable, right? So when I tried to do my nail scratch, it was as good as the marking that the balls have. Now, I did 2 types of marks. I did a standard ink mark, and then I also did an ink mark with a gloss finish, right? And both of them seemed to do well. Now, keep in mind that I wasn't like jamming it, right? I don't know what the effect is going to be when a ball, when the actual golf club hits the ball, because I don't have golf clubs. And but I have purchased recycled balls, and when I look at the balls that have brands already on them, the quality of the graphic that's coming off of the Eufymake E1 is far superior. Like literally, we have shared pictures of golf balls with our printing abilities, and immediately people say, "Done, we're sold," right? Because of how good the quality is. And I'm able to get, I think it's just shy of 30 millimeters, 30 by 30 millimeter print area. So 30 by 30 millimeter print area. And we also then, we were so excited about it that we went ahead, and I'll share with you guys this as well. We created actually some golf jigs. So we have the ability to print 48 golf balls. And let me bring up our Etsy store so I can show you Nilda's Etsy store. So she has it already out there, and they're already available. And we have a couple things that we've already started putting out there for the Eufy. And so the way things work with us is I'm Nilda's designer, and anytime she has a project and she needs something made to make her job easier, I go ahead and design it. So we don't make jigs just to sell jigs. No, my job is to make things that make my wife's life easier. And I'm a big subscriber of Happy Life, Happy Wife, or Happy Wife, Happy Life. So I go ahead and do a lot of things for her. And let me show you what we have going on here. Let's see, is it this one? Yeah, this one right here. So just to give you a sense, if you haven't seen this yet, on the you can have up to 48 balls engraved. So this is something that we've used for some of our jobs. We have a version that has this tray on it that helps you with alignment. And we also then have a baby tray. So there's two versions of our golf ball jigs. So I'll go back to the UV golf ball. Let's see if it shows up in the actual search here so you guys can see. Right. So there's a lot of golf ball solutions out there still that may work. I don't know about the size of those, but this one is ours. And in addition to that, I have this smaller one. Let me show you this one right here. So this one, basically, if you want to be able to print on a dozen, this fits on the small board, and all you have to do is put it on the small board. And then for those of you who, one thing I want to talk about is let's do Eufy E1, right? And we'll find it should show up because I have several posts out there. The other thing that we created is because there is a smell, this is a resin printer, what we created was a connection to an air purifier. So basically what you have is this box connects where the carbon filter is, it replaces it, and it connects to your external venting system or to an air purifier. We have let's see, I don't know if I have a picture here of it, but I have here it is. So you'll notice here in the background, this white box right here, this is the X-Tool AP2. So I have an AP2, and I actually have my Eufymake E1 connected to the AP2. I smell nothing, right? This was one of those things that was a marriage saver because my wife said it smells, and she didn't like the smell. So Milton went into design mode and started designing things. And then as I was doing the design for this, I also thought about, hey, isn't this a marketing opportunity? Because we went ahead and I UV printed a sticker. So this sticker that you see on the actual product is something that I printed just to showcase that this is the Eufymake E1 air purifier adapter. And then I put Nilda's brand there. I said, hey, this is a great idea for all of you. So if you pick up this air purifier adapter, you can actually UV print your logo. And if you take this to any kind of show, you'll be able to have your logo promote your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your QR code, whatever you want, you can stick it onto this air purifier. And for us, this has been essential. So I don't have mine in a cage. I don't have mine in a bag. I don't have to worry about things. If I want to vent this outside, I can vent it outside. If I want to vent it to an AP2, I can do that. And then also we have adapters that go onto 4-inch hoses as well. And if there's a hose size that you need, just let Nilda know on her store, and she'll be able to help you guys out. But that is that's an option right there. And so, and here's the thing is Nilda will say it. So she'll say the smell was driving her nuts. Yeah. So this, and the whole thing about it is that when it's closed, it doesn't really smell, but as soon as you open it up, it like comes out. You can actually smell it. So we keep it closed, but if you have the large tray in there, it's always going to smell because it's open on both sides. So that's one thing that I just wanted to highlight. Let's see what else. Let's see. So then there was a question here from Mark. Amazing how much time and learning curve you and Nilda are doing for all of us. All right, thanks, Mark. Our pleasure. And I'll tell you, Nilda got really, really excited about this. And she's like, literally, I thought that I was going to be an abused husband. So if you see me blinking a lot, because I need help, as soon as she saw me doing the stuff on it, she says, I want to do it. And she did her own design and she started printing and she says, done. And it was kind of like, all the lasers are yours? She says, that's mine. Reality is everything is hers. And I have very little things, but that's one thing that I'll just say. So it's a very easy platform to use. And I know that you guys are going to be really, really excited about it. All right. So there was a question here from Yuka Frita. Ooh, Yuka. All right. We like Yuka. Yuka Frita is, what about the printer heads? I've had issues with white ink clogging my old printers. So Yuka Frita, we have had our machine without use for a week. And what the system has done is on the third day, it puts itself into storage mode and basically flushes the ink head as well as all the tubes. And it basically puts it in the storage mode with this liquid that maintains moisturizing the actual the plumbing as well as the print head. When I've gotten back, I basically just re-injected ink into the actual system. So there was a flushing that takes place, obviously. It reinitialized the system. And what I'll say is I did not calibrate. I did not have to test. I did not have to do any of those stuff. As soon as I re-injected the ink to the system, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for that to happen, the system said, I'm ready to print. And I just started printing without any issues. Right. So that was something that took place. And then what is it? Stubborn Bull Custom says, Yuka Frita, love the name. Ain't it? Right. Yuka Frita is a Spanish dish. And we are Spanish. So definitely know what yuca is. And we have had Yuka Frita. All right. So how are we doing? How are we doing? So we had any other questions, guys? We're going to wrap things up. I really, really hope that you guys really understand the opportunity that's here. I'm going to share something else with you that we've done just to be transparent. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in my, let's see if I can do this in a way where I don't showcase other things that are in here, because I have some proposal information. And what I'll highlight is, let me see if I can make it a little bit, no, I can't make it smaller. One of the things I'd suggest is that you really figure out the cost per print. So to give you guys a sense, one of the first things I did is I looked at how many milliliters there was in a bottle. I then looked at the cost of the bottle per millimeter, and it's just simple math, right? So you just do the math, 100 millimeters, how much does it cost? And basically what it comes out to is about 43 cents a millimeter, right? That's the cost is what I'm looking at. So what I then wanted to see is how much would a print job take? So we printed 12 golf balls, right? We printed a set, and a set of 12 golf balls used up 0.10 millimeters. That is a cost of 4 cents. So I want that to sink in a little bit. 4 cents to print 12 golf balls. For those of you who are wondering, personalization of golf balls is a markup from the base golf ball price. So if you buy golf balls and they're $20, this is above the 20. If you buy golf balls and they're $30, it's above the $30. I'm not seeing anybody mark up the original golf balls. Everybody's selling the golf balls at the cost, but the markup is for the print. So 12 golf balls printed are going to be a cost to you of 4 cents. The markup that you charge the client on average is $20 to $25. Actually, no, $32, $25 to $32. So let me say that again. What I'm seeing from a markup is $25 to $32 is what you'll charge in total for the golf balls, right? So that's $19 for the golf balls, and then you're charging that extra, whatever, $12, $13 that you're charging for the actual printing itself. So if you have a set of golf balls that are $19, you see them go for $32. And as your golf balls go up, you're just increasing it by the same factor. So I think that that's a really amazing view. So hopefully I said that clear enough where you guys are getting what I'm talking about. But again, that's what we're doing from a markup perspective. We're following industry, but we're coming in a little bit cheaper. So again, you're looking at a charge, just for those of you who follow the math, of $12.02 or more that you would charge for the print off of a cost of $4 cents. So that's a pretty good deal. All right, let's go back. So Yuga Frita is saying, I am from Nicaragua. That's how I got the name. Excellent. Thank you for being with us. And let's see who else we have. Stubborn Bull Customs. From my understanding, it does do some automatic cleaning. Yes, it does. And there's also something where it's kind of has wet caps when it's shutting down. However, if you do that, it throws out more waste ink. Yeah, I need to get, Stubborn Bull Customs, I need to get more information. I've been kind of paranoid. I have not unplugged it. I've left it plugged in, and my cleaning cartridge may last longer if I go into storage mode and turn it off. I don't know. I need to get those answers. So I'll ask a question tonight of the team and see how they respond to that. And so then in my case, because I've left mine on and it's been purging every hour a little bit of ink, my cleaning cartridge didn't last as long as I think it would. So I'm going to get some clarity on that. The cleaning unit is hopefully can be made longer instead of the frequent replacement. Yeah, probably if I do the shutdowns. Yeah, and also I think that again I'm dealing with new software, right? So they may optimize the cleaning cycles, is what I would expect. All right, so guys, we are 56 minutes in. I hope this works for you. A couple things that I just want to invite you guys to. We have a Facebook group. I'll put it in the link so that you guys can see that. I'll see if I can pop that up while you guys are on. If you have further questions, just make sure you let us know. You can reach out again in our, it's the Eufymake E1 UV Printers Owners Group. And what I'll do is I will post this link. I think this will work. Why doesn't someone try this? I'm going to go ahead and post it here. I did a quick copy. There you go. Can someone try that link and see if that works? Can you guys click on that link and see if it takes you to the group? And then just let me know that it worked. But that's a group that we created just for like-minded Eufy E1 UV printer followers. And then also, we really want you guys to share with each other, share your projects, share, be open to sharing, your strategies. We share a lot of our strategies around what we do. We don't think, each of you are in different states. And even if you're in the same state, there's enough business for everybody, right? So I think, excellent. I think that it's something that everybody can benefit from. So check out our group, check out the jigs we have. To give you a sense, the jigs, we try to also make sure that the jigs are super affordable. We saw jigs out there that are $200, $500. And if you think about when you can make 48 golf balls in one tray and you're making $13 on every dozen, the actual jigs pay themselves off in one job, right? So we're sharing with you what we make and what we use, and we know what works. So with that being said, you guys have a great night. Good luck, all of you. And I hope you guys enjoy your printer. We love it. And Nilda and I are enjoying it immensely. And it's been transforming the conversations we're having with businesses and with prospects. And after this, we're going to be talking about a quote that we're going to be sending out tonight. So you guys have a great night, and looking forward to hearing what you create with the Eufy E1 UV printer. See you guys.